Hi guys, it's Carissa. This is my video after my first IUI with a Femara cycle at my new fertility clinic. I was going to make a video yesterday after my follicle scan, but my battery died, and I thought, that's fine because I didn't really have much to tell you other than what happened today, and I figured I could tell you all of it now. So when I went in, the nurse told me that the follicle on my right side, the bigger one, was ready. And so she set up my procedure for today at 10:30 in the morning and told me that I would have to do my HCG shot at 9 o'clock last night. So I didn't ask. She doesn't, for some reason, tell what the actual number is. And I could have just asked, but I was so surprised that I had made that much progress that I didn't really care. And when I got home, just out of curiosity, I did look. It looks like what they do is they take two numbers for each follicle and then they do an average of the two. So on the larger side, that follicle was measuring as large as a 24. So I had definitely made an improvement from my previous appointment. Every other follicle was pretty much exactly the same. Sorry, I just woke up from a nap and I'm not here right now. You know when you just have a really unsatisfying nap and you wake up and you feel worse? So this morning, my husband collected at home and brought his contribution to the facility, and he was coming home just as I was leaving. And he was going to be going to work for the night, so I wouldn't be seeing him when I got done, which happens most of the time when we've done this in the past. But he got out of the car and he ran up to me and he gave me a hug and a kiss and he told me good luck. And, not to say that he hasn't been supportive in the past, but we are just such different people this time than we have been before. I attribute so much of that to this new fertility center. But all in all, we are in such a better place. Just for example, the woman at the front desk gives me a hug when I leave. That's just incredible to me. The whole vibe when I'm there is so positive, and I know that that's really what they're aiming for, but I don't know if they realize just how much that means. When you're at an office or a store or a restaurant and you're at people's place of employment, just by the way they carry themselves and the way they treat you and the way that they act, you can tell they're like, I'm at work, and they're bummed about it. And these people create this amazing atmosphere where it's almost like you could let yourself believe that there's a building somewhere where people just live and they make babies for people and they smile about it. They're just not upset that they're there. And I am so grateful for the fact that we're lucky enough to be so close to that. And I would drive a great distance to experience it compared to what I've had in the past. But Mike, luckily, was given a new consent form this morning to sign because they did lose my consent form or misplace it. And if this had been my last facility and they had said, oh, we lost your consent form, I probably would have set the building on fire and bit 3 people and left. I would have been so mad. But this place was like, luckily we have this other one we had him sign this morning. So I just re-signed my consent form, and if anyone were to ask me what an insemination feels like, I would have told them that the catheter is very uncomfortable, and then for the rest of the day you'll experience basically first day period cramps, really heavy, very, very uncomfortable, painful period cramps. And again, I don't know what causes one situation to be different than the other. I don't know if it's the change in my diet. I don't know if it's the supplements I've been taking. I don't know if it's the drugs. I don't know if it's the nurse. I don't know what causes a difference in that. But today I didn't even feel the catheter go in. I didn't even get a single crampy feeling, not for a second. So that was great. I mean, I would take that either way. It's not painful. It's just, it's period cramps. It feels no good. So I also was really impressed by the fact that the nurse afterwards, instead of, at my old facility, they would cram a pillow underneath my legs, at which point, just from the movement of my hips and like the tension in my muscles, everything that they just put in me, it felt like would just come gushing out. And it would feel, oh, your heart sinks when that happens. It's like, why did I just do this and pay all this money if it was just going to come like squishing out of me? And it makes you think your chances are no good. Today, I hid one of those soft cups in my bra so that after the nurse left the room, I could put one in. But I almost didn't even need it because she had me on a table where like my head was right here and my feet were here. She moved it like it was like a motorized table so that my feet were pretty far up in the air, and had me roll to my right side so that we would get like all the gravity towards that right ovary. And I lay there for about 10 minutes. Then a nurse came in and gave me my instructions and my appointment for next week, or for 2 weeks from now. And then said, in about 10 more minutes, we'll come back to get you. And it was just very relaxing. It was really nice. I actually fell asleep at one point, which I never did before. And everything felt so different. It just was a completely different, even though I was so familiar with the steps and the actual, practical application of what was done, it was such a different experience. And afterwards, I had an appointment for a complimentary fertility acupuncture session. And I thought that was really great. So once that was done and I got dressed, I walked over to the other side of the building, which is the spa, and they gave me a free first session of acupuncture. I've never had it done before, and it's not that I'm scared of it. I don't know why I couldn't wrap my mind around going to have acupuncture. It's a little bit pricey, and I thought maybe that was why, but and I wasn't stubborn about it. I wouldn't have said no, if they had ever asked me to schedule an appointment for it, but it wasn't something that I was rushing to do. But now I'm actually really interested. I'd really like to continue sessions. Today's goal was to help increase blood flow to the uterus, and then I have an appointment for a week from today to help with implantation somehow. I don't really know what the scenario was there. I was only really upset because I hadn't shaved my legs I don't have to, really. My leg hair, can you see the hair in my arms? No, it's not going to show you. I don't know, my sister and I are lucky like that. We don't have body hair, almost at all. And so sometimes we can go a little long before we have to shave. And so that was embarrassing because for some reason I thought it was all just going to be my face. I didn't know she was going to be, touching my legs and my ankles, and my toes weren't polished. I don't know. I'm just, whatever. That's really not a big deal. If that was the worst part about today, I'll take it. So I left, and I hadn't had breakfast. So I was there for 2 hours today, and so I left at 12:30. And I'm normally very good about having breakfast and making time for it, but all I'd had is water. So I went and I bought myself a nice lunch, and I came home and I took a nap. And the nap that I just woke up from, that was not so good. But a standard practice of mine when I have an insemination, because I've had so many of them by now, I like to relax for the rest of the day. And I realize that that's not an option for a lot of people. And that's a luxury that I have that I can kind of control. So I make sure to have a very relaxing, like, sit around day. And now, if you know me, you would know that I don't ever do that. The days of me sitting on the couch and watching TV and doing nothing else whatsoever are not existent. Even when I'm sick, I mean, I don't stop. I never am doing nothing, really. And that's one of the curses and blessings of working from home, and I do choose that for myself, and I actually enjoy it most of the time. But if I am home, no matter what time of day, I'm almost always working. I'm at my desk, and granted, I do try and do things that I enjoy while I'm at my desk. I play movies and TV shows and YouTube videos and talk radio, just stuff that I enjoy to help pass the time and distract me while I'm working. But I don't ever just sit. And if I do take a nap, I feel terribly guilty about it. So that was part of the reason why my nap wasn't so good today, because I did feel a little bit guilty, because I thought my morning was so relaxing. I really don't need to keep relaxing, but I wanted to. So that was pretty much my day. I can wholeheartedly say if I have to do it again, I'm completely fine with it. Still no cramping so far today. I've had a little bit of like brownish mucusy discharge, which is normal after an IUI, or normal for me afterwards. But everything's great. So here's to the 2-week wait. Thank you so much for watching, for your support, for all of your information. This has been a really great experience for me all around, and I'm happy to be able to share it with all of you. And we'll see what all of this has to bring. Thank you so much. All right, I'm gonna go before I start coughing again.